sardine. Your dentist could turn into a queen. Has anybody seen my tambourine? I may start playing big in the beginning. The craziest night you've ever seen.
Growing up
Isn't easy.
Hey guys.
That was unexpected.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were going to do that.
Yeah, I was trying to switch it up. Ow, my ear. Hey guys, it's the Large Marge. Hey guys, it's Sweetie.
And Sweetie.
And you're listening to the Large Marge Sent Us podcast, your most favoritist, bestest podcast ever about your childhood favorite movies, brought to you by two sweeties who are awesome. That's us. So today we're bringing you a little special, little bonus ep. Trying to cram in all these Halloween episodes, so we got to do a couple sometimes.
There's so many, but I know you're not disappointed.
Of course not. We only have one fan, but that's okay.
Hey, not true.
Who we don't know. So today's movie is a little something called The Worst Witch, which was
so many witch puns. It's like,
I think this was one of maybe the original Disney original, like one of the first. Wasn't it like a Disney? It wasn't a Disney original movie.
I don't think so.
Why didn't we do any research? Did you look up the IMDb facts?
Yeah, and there was 3.
Oh, well,
and they were done.
Okay, well that's just my thought, but I'm not 100% sure. But they used to play this on TV all the time. We used to watch it. We used to be pretty fond of it, I think, right? As children.
God, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, we had no inkling.
Did they play it in non-Halloween time?
Probably.
Yeah.
It was one of those things they just played all the time. But I think they especially played it a lot during Halloween.
Yeah.
But we had no idea that this movie was like a piece of poop wrapped up in like a witch hat bow. It's pretty terrible.
It's gold-plated poop.
But it's like, but it's so good, it's bad.
Yeah.
But no, sorry, so bad. So bad, it's good.
Exactly the definition.
No, I did it wrong. So bad, it's good.
Yes.
Sorry. But so that's the flick today. Let's talk about it.
Yep.
Let's get into it.
So, Worst Witch, 1986, starring the fabulous Fairuza Balk.
Woo!
Also in IMDb trivia, 2 other movies about witches. Name them.
The Craft,
Yeah.
Oz, and The Return to Oz.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not really witches.
Kind of stretch that.
Well, I was like, there's not really witches in that.
Also, Tim Curry, famous for Rocky Horror Picture Show, Clue.
We know who Tim Curry is.
And I was thinking, like, what else he was in? Was he in Congo?
He was in.
He dies in Congo.
He was also in a little movie called Home Alone 2: Lost in New York.
The manager.
I mean, he's in a lot of things. Yeah. We know Tim. We all know Tim.
And then some old actresses
like Diana Rigg. You guys, I had no idea that she was in this. And all you Game of Thrones fans out there will be psyched to know that what's her face, Lady Olenna, is in this movie.
Cool.
Pretty crazy. She's pretty fabulous.
Full circle to modern day times.
Yeah.
So let's start off with everyone's favorite Sweetie Synopsis.
You
gotta go with just one or the other.
You can have 2.
No, that's stupid.
I wanted to sing my version.
Maybe we should alternate.
Okay. Anyways, Sweetie Synopsis, take 1. Mildred Hubble is the worst witch at Miss Cackle's Academy for Witches. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. I'm kind of improvising there, but
started in 1602.
Oh.
Or 4.
Oh. Maybe you should be more accurate.
I read the plaque.
Oh. I didn't, obviously, because I don't know the actual name.
Yo, why is Mildred the worst witch?
Mildred is the worst witch because she's clumsy. She forgets things easily. She does not know how to do simple spells, potions. I'm still very confused about it. Aside from that, I just don't really see why she's the worst witch. I think it's all in her. I think it's mostly in her head is the problem. And I think that people are kind of mean to her. There's one very bitchy witch named Ethel Hollow.
I don't think she believes in herself.
Yeah. And Ethel Hollow, the bitch witch, doesn't help anything. She's always making fun of her. Yeah. She's a bully, basically.
Yeah. She is. So, this might be obvious, but I like to think of this as a precursor to a little bit Harry Potter.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
I think J.K. Rowling, stole everything.
Okay, because I was like, oh my god, you have the old headmaster, you have the mean...
Potion.
Well, she's kind of like their overall teacher, right? Miss Hardbroom. I almost said Miss Broomstick. I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Miss Hardbroom.
Who hates Mildred.
Gives her a really hard time. The bully, Draco Malfoy to Ethel Merman. No, what's that name?
Hallow.
Ethel Hallow. Yeah, and it's but it's a witch school, and it's just girls in it.
And it seems to be
all in England somewhere.
And everyone's British except for Mildred, which is a common thing we're noticing with all of these movies.
Any American movies
that take place in Great Britain, the main character has to be American.
Yeah,
we're not
just
sure.
To
so we saw it in The Witches.
Have American kids relate to her.
We saw it in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
So yeah, that seems to be a common trope. I don't know what's up with that, but we'll keep looking out for it. Anywho, Mildred is the worst witch, and she's in this witch school and has a bully and blah blah blah. Halloween is approaching. Mm-hmm. What happens on Halloween at Miss Cackle's? Cackle School.
I don't think this happens every year, but this year the Grand Wizard has selected their school for him to come and be at for the Halloween festivities, which, as far as I can tell, the Halloween festivities include a broomstick display, which is when 8 girls ride their broomsticks in a formation, and then there might be a feast after. Yeah. But I think that's it.
Big party. They wear fun little green hair extensions and put glitter on their makeup, face, and everything like that. So, I almost said Grand High Witch. The Grand Wizard. Don't be confused with the KKK. Isn't that the Grand Wizard?
Taking it dark. Taking it to a dark place right now. None of that.
The Grand Wizard is Tim Curry. He shows up and does an amazing performance.
More on that.
We'll sing some of that later.
Oh, yeah.
And they do this broom formation. And poor Mildred tried so hard, practice after school to get her loop-de-loops right, gets cast in the broom formation because the other girl who took her place got into the laughter potion and had too many giggles. So she gets to take over. Unfortunately, the bully...
Ethel,
what do you call it? Takes over the broom. Well, gives her a broom.
She gives her a broom to use. She puts a spell on it so that when she says the word faster, the broom will speed up and Mildred won't be able to control it and she'll fly off, presumably. So, in the midst of the broomstick formation, Ethel the bitch says, faster! And the broom goes faster, and Mildred crashes into everybody and ruins the whole broomstick formation, which is a pretty shitty move because you're not just making Mildred look bad, you're really making everybody look bad. So that happens, and the Grand Wizard's like, oh, if these are the witches of the future, I don't want to know what's going to be like. And then he storms off and he flies off.
And they put Mildred to bed with no supper. She just realized, I can't be a witch, I can't do it. Runs away in the morning. Takes her little cat and runs away. Subplot, during this whole time, Miss Cackle's evil twin sister, Aggie, who is randomly from the South, because she has a Southern accent, has all her hippie witches together, and they decided to take over Miss Cackle's school, and they're going to turn everybody into toads and make it an evil magic school.
Diabolical plan.
So they're in the woods, getting ready to go. Mildred runs away, hops on her broomstick, flies, and stumbles upon the bad witches.
And she says, oh, shit, I gotta stop these witches. I'll turn them into snails. She turns them into snails. She brings the box of snails back to the headmistress, Miss Cackle. She says, look, I found these bad witches in the woods. One of them looked like you. I'm not really sure what that's about. And she's just Miss Cackle's like, oh, shit, I think that's my evil twin sister, who's also a hick from Alabama, ? We're not sure about. Oh, sorry. I was busy, distracted, because my cat's playing with a plastic bag. It's very noisy. Can you stop? Miss Cackle is like, hooray, wow, you saved us, Mildred, wonderful. Mildred gets some sleep. Her friend's like, oh, Miss Cackle wants to see you. She walks into the, what's that called? the Great Hall version of this school. And all her classmates are looking at her. Tim Curry has returned. He stands at the top, looking down at her with a look of weird loathing and sexual mischief.
Ugh.
And and then all of a sudden everybody starts clapping, and they're like, "Yay! Mildred, you saved us!
You're not the worst witch!"
So yeah, thanks guys for, being kind of really mean to me, and now I'm okay. I don't know. It's not like she did, first of all, it was a crappy plan to turn everybody into toads when the school was armed with, like, very successful, accomplished witches. I don't think that plan would have worked out too well anyways.
Also, like, wicked anticlimactic, that part.
Yeah, it was really not. They're like,
that hard.
"Let's get her!" And then they're like, "I know, instead of using a spell right away, I'll blast these fireworks around her instead to scare her," which just allows Mildred to take 5 years to find the right page of the spell, and it's not very well done. But anyways, the Grand Wizard's like, "Come have a flying lesson with me," and then they fly off into the night on his magical stick cape, and they're off on their way, and she's so happy. And that's the end.
And it just goes to show.
What does it show?
Growing up isn't easy. It's hard to be a kid that age, and you feel like you're not good at anything, but everybody is good at something.
It's hard to be a witch at that age.
Yeah. And that you will prevail. She tried really hard. It wasn't like she was, like, sitting on a couch smoking her witch bong and being like, "Oh, man, why can't I be a good witch?"
She did, and I think she excelled, especially at that spell of turning... Desmond, quit that. We're taking away the bag, people, so don't worry. We shut that down. She excelled at switching spells because she changed evil bitch Mildred into a pig earlier in the film. And then she did the same thing with the witches turning into snails. And I think that's a pretty complicated spell, from what I remember from Harry Potter. I think that was her, like, skill, and she used it to her advantage,
sure.
and it worked. That's the lesson.
Yeah.
Use your skills.
I think that is a really good lesson, and this movie is just super cute and interesting, and it was the first movie that I saw that really showed, like, another, like, a kid world, but, like, a witch world, like, a version of it. And they have all the, obviously, like, witch-themed stuff in it. So there's, like, little signs all over the hallway, like, no cauldrons, and, like, in science class, instead of, like, test tubes, they have cauldrons to make pots. They brush their teeth with little mini broomsticks. It's all those, like, cute little things. So I think that was the best part of this movie, like, how that really was, like, woven in so much.
They all get, first years all get a kitten. They bring out this basket, and they all get a kitten. I was obsessed with that part. Still am, obviously. I cried. Saw all the kittens. But, aside from that, this movie...
ridiculous.
It doesn't excel in several places.
Yeah.
Number one, the special effects are something... they're not great.
Yeah.
They're not great, you guys. They're pretty awful. It's like...
I could either have made the graphics on my 1988 Apple computer, or they remind me of the public access channel that you would, like, put on channel 2, and it was some lady, like, cooking a stir fry, like, in front of a sheet.
Every time a special effect happened, it would get the scene would get, like, weirdly foggy, like.
But also, there's, like, a weird patina on this film, I don't know, why is the camera always, like, fuzzy?
Because to, like, make the effects more, like, less terrible, I think. But yeah, that's terrible. The camera work is not great.
The flying effects killed it. Obviously, we're doing about witches, like, things disappearing, and, like, in the broomstick, and it was just, like, this, like, fuzzy little red thing. Like, I don't even know.
Like, here she comes. She's landing. Here she comes. To make sure we knew that was what was happening, because it's pretty hard to tell.
Jumped down, and she was like, oof,
it's hard to tell. This movie also has a number of songs.
Oh, the songs.
Which, they're all pretty terrible, except for, I think the beginning one, Growing Up, isn't the theme song, is pretty good. The best thing in the world that will ever happen to you is if you watch Tim Curry's song called Anything Can Happen on Halloween. I challenge you to sit through that without laughing.
I don't know how he filmed it without laughing.
Right?
That guy
that's
is a champ.
This is my eternal question about Tim Curry is, well, I have a few questions. One is, are we supposed to find him sexy?
Okay.
Everyone is obsessed with him.
Well, first of all, he's the only man in this movie. So it's all women and cats and pigs and a dog and frogs and snails. Other than that, only man. They have this photo, like, the girls are, like, passing it around because he's, like, the heartthrob. It's, like, a Tiger Beat photo of him. And he looks like a ghoul. I mean, he is, like, a wizard.
Like, weird bags under his eyes.
He has weird bags under his eyes.
I mean, it's Tim Curry.
I'm sorry. I love Tim Curry. He's not attractive.
No, he's not someone that you find attractive. And I don't think anyone else is supposed to find him attractive. But I believe that he thinks he's very attractive in this movie. And the witches are literally, like, creaming their pants, like, looking at this photo. They are dying. Like,
it's weird.
It's so weird.
But I think that's, like, I don't know.
And he has, like, he has a very uncomfortably high amount of sexuality in this film that I really don't feel comfortable with it because they're all children. And he's just exuding this sex.
Maybe Tim Curry, maybe we're just, like, out of that generation that, like, there was a generation that thought Tim Curry was hot and stuff that he did.
Older women and men out there, please tell us if this is true.
I need to know. I need to
know. Tell me, baby girl, was Tim Curry a sex icon?
We're gonna be like the SNL characters, like trying to finish each other's songs.
We are, yeah.
We're not very good at it.
Although we could easily have written the songs in this movie because they're so terrible.
Okay, this is the thing about this song, and you remember the lyrics from the Halloween one, but what you gotta realize is that whoever made these songs, it's like they sat down with a piece of paper and were like, what rhymes with this? And just listed all the words that could possibly rhyme with it. And they're like, yeah, that's good. That's good. Doesn't make any sense. So you go. You know most of the lyrics to the Halloween one.
Oh, I was going to bring them up on my phone, but I forgot. But my favorite is...
I wrote this one down.
Anything can happen on Halloween. Your dentist could turn into a queen.
Like, what? Why?
I guess that could happen.
It's dumb.
I mean...
There's one about something into a sardine.
Your teacher might turn into a sardine. And then there's like a giant picture of a whale in the background. I'm like, pretty sure that's a whale, not a sardine.
Showed the sardine.
So, yeah, the whole thing is very literal.
Yeah.
So the video is displaying exactly what he's saying, pretty much, but with terrible effects. So if he's like, your hair could turn green, his hair, it gets like a color overlay, like it looks like paint shop, like paint shop. You just like use the spray can, and
he like every time he's saying about something like a heart or like a moon or something, he like holds up what looks to be like a paper prop. Which they like put some weird light on it, so it kind of looks different.
No, except for the sun was literally just a yellow piece of paper.
I mean,
cut into a circle.
It's so low budget. It's
amazing, and his facial expressions are hilarious. All of it. He keeps looking at the camera with this sexy,
I just can't imagine him going to work that day. And like, was he just like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna fucking have fun with this.
Right? Like, Tim, I need to know. I need to know more about this.
Yeah.
I need to know about everything involving this film.
Yeah, I'd like to interview him about this. Forget Rocky Horror. I'd be like, let's talk about Worst Witch. And anything could happen on Halloween. And there's also one other song in this. And this is what I hate about these, like, half-ass musicals. Why, like, okay, we're going to make this musical. And then you put in 2 songs. And one is, like, the other one is horrible. It makes no sense. The woman cannot sing for the life of her. And it's just as bad. Like, the rhyme schemes are, like, from first grade.
Even worse. And the melody's not great. So you don't even remember. I don't even remember how it goes. Yeah. It's just terrible. And then the Tim Curry one, which is amazing. But it's just amazing because it's a shit show. Yeah. Of fun. But, yeah. But please YouTube that ASAP.
So good.
You can't just listen to it, is the other thing. You need to get the full experience and watch it.
It's a visual.
It's a visual experience. It's a visual experience for sure. It's amazing, and including our favorite part, where he says a bunch of these rhymes. So I forget. So whatever whatever the one is with Queen. So all the things that rhyme with Queen.
The dentist one.
I know, but there's other things before that. So there's a bunch of things
Sardine,
before that.
Queen.
Oh, sardine, Queen.
Halloween.
Your dentist could turn into a queen, and then all of a sudden he just looks at the camera and is like, "Has anyone seen my tambourine?"
But then he pulls out this giant tambourine from his giant cape, and is like banging it around, and then does like, what do I call it? The grapevine? He does the grapevine step. Oh my god, we lost our shit. We laughed for like 20 minutes straight about that. Oh my god, so good.
Like, why does he have a tambourine?
I don't know.
Why did he lose it? Where is it?
They just had to go with the props that went with the words that rhyme with "een," the end of "een." Queen, mean, tambourine,
it's amazing.
bean.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so good.
Anyway, so that's the best part by far.
Yeah.
My other favorite part is when they play terror tag, which I always remembered as a child because I think it was part of it seemed a little scary to me or something. But I love that there's a blue team and a red team, and they have these cool sashes, and the object is to scare the other team so that they scream. And even though one team is hiding, they can both be scaring each other, I guess. I don't know. So you hide in a closet, the other team opens it, and then you make a scary face, and they go, ah, and then that's a scream. So
maybe that's why they know who is screaming, because they take turns. Like, if that's why they know.
And it was just edited poorly.
If you scream, if you're obviously on that team. My other question about Scream Tag is, why are these witches so easily scarable?
I know.
They're scared of, like, people making the dumbest faces. I'm like, dude, you're in the horror business. Like, get it fucking together.
Especially Mildred, who, the mean bitch witch, cheats and puts on this mask, which is the worst mask I've ever seen. But to Mildred, it is the scariest thing in the world. Yeah. It's really just a piece of green, like, plastic with giant red lips. It's not very scary. But Mildred loses it for the team because she screams maybe 20 times. When that happens, so that's what happens there.
Mildred Hubble,
Hubble, the non-British witch at the British witch. Is that the real reason they're mean to her? Because she's American?
No, but it's like, Ethel, why? Like, she was like not a competitor to her at all. Why did she just want to bring her down? Like,
because some girls are just evil like that, and they just want to.
Talk about resting the bitch face, that girl.
Oof, yeah.
Whoa, she might have invented it.
Wonder where she's at now. Did you look up any of the people, like the girls that were in this, to see if anybody went on to bigger and better things?
You know, aside from
Fairuza Balk,
the main ones, I didn't even see.
But I would like to know, what is Ethel Hallow doing now?
All right, let's
tell me the deal.
She lives in Boston.
What? Are you her? Are you Ethel? Speak to me.
See, this is a bad sign when you look on IMDb and all these people don't have photos. Well, Zoe Chantvestri.
Who's that?
Is maybe a person.
Is that her best friend?
No, she's like a random one. That was the one who had too much laugh potion.
She's the one that has made a career. She was hardly in it. She was in the infirmary the whole time. Didn't even see
Verity her. Sinister? Do you remember her?
No. Look up Ethel. Just click on it. Even if she doesn't have a picture, just click on Ethel.
Anna Kipling.
That's her name.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's an actress known for Legend. Ooh. Oh, that's like old, not the new Legend. The Worst Witch and Press Gang.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from there, I guess.
Her last movie was in 1985, so...
Is she dead? No, okay, good. I'm always afraid it's going to be like,
she did literally 5 movies.
Oh,
that's
honey.
sad.
Maybe she saw this and was like, I'm never doing another movie again.
Spellbinder.
Miss Spellbinder. Which one was that?
The Hot Aviator.
Oh, I loved her.
One.
Yeah, she wears these cool red boots.
Oh my god, she was in Miss Marple. I have a thing for British mystery series.
Dream come true. But does she have to wear her aviation cap all the time? Even when she's not flying? Because she was always wearing it. But yeah, she's my favorite teacher by far.
Let's look up what Maud's doing.
Maud. Yeah, she seemed kind of familiar. This is Mildred's best friend who is her little champion. She's very sweet.
Only 2 movies.
Ugh.
So this was 1986.
She did?
13 years later, she was in Julia and the Cadillacs as a coffee bar person.
Oh.
Sad.
Honey.
Maud never made it. Maud.
Well, at least Diana Rigg did something with her life.
Yeah.
And Tim Curry. And Fairuza Balk. Amazing.
Zoe Chant-Bestry's in a lot of stuff.
Okay, that's weird.
Black Mirror, did you see that? Oh, yeah. Wait.
Yeah. So
Is that that
Netflix,
show?
the Netflix series. It's like an anthology.
Torchwood?
What? Wait, what does she look like? Let me see. Give me that. Oh, yeah. I know her.
That's Zoe Chant-Bestry.
Oh, my God. She got into the laughing potion. That's
so
crazy.
funny.
Good for her. Good job, Liz May Bryce. You made it. You made it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this movie's terrible.
It's so bad, but it's so good. And I feel like, I don't know if a lot of people have seen this one. Andre's convinced that you have, and I hope you have.
Well, if only
if
only they've seen the Tim Curry, that part. I feel like that code that circulates during the Halloween season, and people are sharing it and like, oh, look at this. I'm like, fools, I know about that for like a whole lot.
But it's such a cozy little film, and it's only an hour and like 10 minutes long.
It seemed longer, though, to be honest.
I was like, I didn't like remember all these scenes in the beginning either. It was like the potion one.
Like, when does the snail happen? Yeah, the potion scene.
Right, like I only remember, I remember the terror tag part, the broomstick part, and when she turns them into snails. And I thought that end part was much longer.
Really all you need to know.
Like, involved with them, and like they tied her up or something. I don't know. I thought that was like...
I think you're confusing the game that we used to play, Pilgrims and Indians, where you would tie me to a tree and then pretend to set it on fire.
I'm glad we're doing a lot of these witch movies because I love witches. As a child, I was a witch every Halloween for like 10 years straight.
It's true.
I'm going to be like, what do you want to be? And I'll be like, a witch, duh.
I made a club in 5th or 4th grade with my friends. After we saw The Craft, we pretended that we were witches. We really thought we were, but we weren't. So yeah, I wanted to be a witch also.
I still do. Remember we went to Salem and we went to like the Wiccan shop?
Yeah. Our other sister bought me a crystal.
Yeah. And
it was
sage,
fun.
Like burning
They had
your
like
house.
cool potion ingredients.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope there's witches out there. If you're a witch, let us know.
They're called Wiccans. Get it right.
Ooh, excuse me. Sorry.
Can't burp on the podcast.
That's gross.
That's so gross. But yeah, so this is our bonus episode. It's obviously pretty crazy. It started crazy and just kept going, but we're going with it.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, join us next time as we talk about another favorite Halloween.
Probably gonna have witches in it because they all do.
They almost all do. We only have one left that does not have witches in it. So
shit.
Get excited. We hope you enjoy it. Talk to you next time.
Yeah.
Later, dudes.
Thanks for joining us.
Later,
Bye.
babes.
Growing up isn't easy. Scary